Hi, and welcome to Quantum Metaphysics, where we are exploring how to combine the hard science of quantum physics with the softer sciences of parapsychology and paranormal interactions. So, today we're talking about understanding energy work. What is this concept? You have to know what it is before you can do it, right? Right. So, most of us are operating on a system that is based solely on the rules of our 3D reality, the physical material world. We define ourselves through the tangible characteristics of our bodies, our roles, our environments. I am a redhead. I am making a video. I am a YouTuber. So, this is how we choose to define the world that we perceive around us. Now, if you've watched the earlier videos, perception is all up here. The actual world does not exist outside of your brain. You perceive your reality. But, we're in the 3D reality. We typically experience the physical world of form first. And most of us never bother to shift our perspective to consider what lies beyond that 3D form. What is in that formless, spiritual, energetic fifth dimension. And it's about time we started changing this order of awareness. Our 5 physical senses are made to detect a spectrum of energy, and we use those to determine how we perceive reality, how to navigate through the day. But we often tell ourselves that if we don't sense it with our 5 senses, it must not exist. Many people feel they must see it to believe it. The truth is, there are many things that must be believed before they can be seen. Have you ever considered what happens when you turn on a TV? You pick up your remote, you push a button, and magically, images appear on that box. Can you, with your 5 senses, see that infrared laser, smell it, hear it, feel it? Of course not. But the energetic process still happens, even though our 5 senses are not sensitive enough to pick it up. So, let's take that up a notch. Without even being aware of it, our physical body has a structure of energy within us and around us. Our physical form is enclosed in an energetic field called an aura. This is an energy bubble. It acts kind of like an energetic immune system. It protects us from the environmental energies that are around us. It keeps those harmful and toxic energies out while allowing the flow of our own energy to continue undisturbed. If you have ever been in a situation where you walked into a room and you could immediately tell that the people who were already in there had just been arguing, that is your energetic immune system giving you a red flag. Hey, there's something to be aware of here. And you may not be able to put a finger on exactly why it is you feel that they were just arguing, but it's hanging in the air, quite literally. So, that is an example of how the aura works to protect us. Think of it as being an extra set of antennas to let you know what's going on energetically around you. Now then, inside of you, we have what are called chakras. Chakras are little energy vortexes, and they keep things flowing. If you consider the way the circulatory system works, you have the heart that sits there and expands and contracts, and it moves the blood through the body. Similarly, your chakra system expands and contracts, and that keeps the energy moving through your body. And running down through all of our chakras is the meridian right along the spinal column, and it is the basis for the central nervous system midline. It's the pillar of energy that acts as the biocomputer that keeps these meat suits running. We can sit there and program that so that we can address the subconscious beliefs and the energetic weaknesses that we've all developed as we've moved through life. So within our energy body, we have extra senses outside of the normal 5, and they detect a much larger spectrum of energy. These extrasensory perceptions are commonly called the clairs. Clair is the French word for clear. Some of the more common ones: clairvoyance, clear seeing, seeing clearly, things at a distance, clairaudient, clear hearing. Do you know someone who always catches what's being said in that conversation across the room? Yeah, the energy helps with that. Then there's clairsentience. Clairsentience is having an understanding of what is going on in the energy fields without having that consciously being brought in through the 5 senses. Now, if you're an intuitive healer, and many of the people who watch this are, then you are already using those extra senses. You're perceiving beyond your physical body and into the energy system, not only of yourself, but of the people that you work with. And from there, you can see where the disconnects are. You can see what needs to be made whole again, and you can help people reconnect with that wholeness within them. So, all matter is made up of vibrating energy. We've discussed that. And every energy vibrates at its own unique frequency, its own rate of vibration. A tree's frequency is very different from the frequency of a drop of water, but each contains its own energy patterns. And human beings are no exception to this rule. As living beings, our energetic frequency influences everything about us: our health, our attitude, the people and circumstances that we attract into our lives, and our own perceptions of ourself, where we belong, our own search for inner peace and meaning. Our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings each have their own frequency, which explains why the higher vibrational feelings, such as love, joy, and gratitude, make you feel better. When you are in love, it doesn't matter if your muscles are aching from doing something the day before. You don't feel it because your frequency is vibrating at such a high rate. Fear, anger, and shame, which vibrate at much lower frequencies, lead to feelings of discomfort. Quite often, people who experience chronic pain also experience depression. These are called comorbidities. They exist together. One does not cause the other, but they are definitely linked. You are depressed because you are in constant pain, but the depression helps create more pain for you to feel. It becomes a circle. So, if you can break that cycle, then you can begin healing the pain. When we begin to realize that our thoughts and our feelings determine our energetic frequency, then we start realizing just how much they're running around unchecked. How often do you really think about what your thoughts are doing? How often do your thoughts intrude on your life with something random? For me, it tends to be the internal radio will wake me up at 4 in the morning. This morning it was playing the Pretenders' Don't Get Me Wrong. That's what happens when your thoughts are unchecked. They start bringing in very strange things, including songs you haven't thought of in 30 years. So, when you realize that your thoughts are running around unchecked, then you can start taking steps to consciously control them, to keep them from being in that mood. When you do that, then you can work with the energy and you can start seeing the change in your life. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a bad mood, everyone else around you is in a bad mood too? Yeah, that's it. Like attracts like. you pull to you similar frequencies. That's why if you make the conscious choice of you're going to be in a good mood and start looking for bias validation, confirmation biases of why you should be in a good mood, then everyone around you is elevated as well. You can try this you can try an experiment on this if you want. You can either hold a very high vibration or a very low vibration when you're with others and see how they react. See how your barista at Starbucks reacts if you walk in grumpy and short-tempered and barely speaking and being obnoxious. Then the next day go in smiling, cheerful, hi, how you doing? And see the change in them created by your energy. Your energy is a powerful influence, whether you realize it or not. And the sun is coming up and creating shadows. So now science has started to finally embrace what mystics and psychics have been saying for centuries. We are made up of energy. We are energetic beings having a physical experience. And it is our energy that determines our material and our physical reality, not the other way around. As energy work is becoming more widely understood, we're starting to see that as we manipulate our energy first, our perceived reality shifts as a result of what we are doing. So, think of an area of your life that you dearly want to change. Have you been doing or trying to change and just hasn't worked out? First, you need to change the energy to change the physical dimension of your lives. We tend to do that backwards. Energy work and the healing that comes as we're raising our frequency changes the reality of our lives, lifts up those who are around us, and ultimately can transform all of humanity. And that is a beautiful thing. I hope you're enjoying quantum metaphysics. It's going to be an interesting ride.